Hey everyone, welcome to The Zest, the official podcast of Orange Coast Magazine. I'm Chelsea Ranieri, and today's guest is an actor, singer, songwriter, and a musician who stars as Stella in the To All the Boys I Loved Before spinoff series, XO Kitty. She's also been in films including Murder of a Cat alongside J.K. Simmons and Nikki Reed, and has done voice acting for shows including We Bare Bears and Boss Baby Back in Business. This year, the Chapman student released her EP, Lovesick, and was featured in Orange Coast's Under 40 issue. Thank you so much for being here today, Audrey Huynh.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So if I should also mention, not only were you featured in the magazine, you were the cover of the magazine. So if any of our listeners are also subscribers, you've seen her gorgeous photo already. But as I mentioned before we started recording, I started reading your story and doing some research on you. And I was like, I need to have this girl on the podcast as well.
No, yeah, I was like so shocked being on the cover. I like had no idea. I've never been like on the cover of something before. So when they sent me the magazine, I was like, oh my God, I was like, that's me on the cover. It's crazy.
It's an amazing photo. That's like been one of my favorites. Yeah, it's insane. Well, to start from the beginning of your story, what were you like as a kid and what first drew you to performing?
Oh, well, my parents love like telling the story, but when I was younger, I would always try and like perform in like any capacity, like whether it was like karaoke in like our living rooms, like my like cousins and I would put on like little shows at Christmas, like for the family, like it was that kind of thing. But no, it was so cute. We would like sing like Let It Go from Frozen, and we were like little like 8-year-old children, like it was crazy. But no, my mom like always likes to say that like she knew that I was kind of born to be in this industry, if that makes sense. But when I was younger, I went on like a Disney cruise with my family and like a couple like cousins and family friends of mine. And there was like this kids club, I think, on the cruise where basically like the parents could just drop their kids off and go have fun. The kids, it's like free babysitting. But we put on like a High School Musical performance like randomly, and my mom didn't know about it, and she came to the show and she was like, where did that come from? Like I was just like fully singing and dancing like on stage, like it was crazy. And then I came back and I told her, I was like, Mom, like I want to be on TV, like I want to figure that out. And that's kind of where it started. Like we just said.
And how old were you?
I was probably like 5 or 6.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like a small child. Like it was crazy.
Oh my God, that's such a cool feeling probably for your mom getting to watch you do that and having no idea that you had that passion for you.
No, yeah, that's like her favorite story to tell.
So cute. Well, tell me about your first acting gig.
Yeah, so my first acting gig was this movie, kind of what you mentioned before. It was called Murder of a Cat. I had like one line. I played like the daughter of one of the characters. And the one day that I was on set, I got to work with J.K. Simmons. And at the time I was like 8 or 9. I had no idea who this man was. And my mom was like, Audrey, you are working with J.K. Simmons. And I was like, who? Like, like a guy, like in my brain. But like looking back and like now that I know who he is, I was like, oh my God, like I wish I had like taken a photo with him or like done something cool. But it was crazy. But that was a really fun set experience. I got to play like a little ballerina. Like I had like one line, I think, but it was cool.
So cool. Do you remember like what you kind of learned from that time on set? I feel like that would have like such an impact.
It was such a weird, because I had only done like commercials and such like before. So like being on like a film set was crazy. And I just remember like walking around and being like, oh my God, I have a chair. Like there's food. Like I can just go and get snacks whenever I want to. Like this is crazy. But it was so much fun. That kind of like launched like the acting like love in my brain and kind of just being like, I really want to do this like for the rest of my life. This is so cool. But
so cool. And then Nikki Reed's in Twilight, right? Did you watch Twilight as a kid?
Yes, I love Twilight. I'm like, ask anybody in my life. I love Twilight.
Yeah. I would be sad if I saw her.
Yeah. No, it was, again, I had no idea who she was like, when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, you later booked your first TV pilot in high school, and I read a bit about how much of an impact the director of that pilot made. Do you mind sharing a bit about that?
I love Asian Baby Girl. That pilot will like always hold a special place in my heart, and I will forever be sad that it never got picked up. Background about me: my dad is half Chinese, half Vietnamese, and my mom is half Korean. And that specific pilot was about the Vietnamese American community in Orange County. It was like set in Westminster. We like filmed everything in OC, and it was so cool. It was like an all Vietnamese American, like Asian American cast. Like most of us grew up in OC. Like it like hit very close to home. And the director, Din Tai, he's one of my favorite people in this entire universe. We literally like still hang out. Like he invites me to like a bunch of like his stuff, and I'm like, hey, like, but that was like a crazy experience. I was like 16 or like 15 or 16 when I filmed that, and it was so cool being on like a set to that scale, because it was supposed to get picked up by like Disney and Freeform, I think. Mm-hmm. And it was just crazy. Like we had like night shoots. That was the first time I'd ever had to do like a night shoot. I was rapping at 4 a.m. and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm tired. Like this is crazy. I had to learn Mozart's Sonata 16 in 2 weeks because she was like a piano player. And I like play piano, but not classically. So I like would have like mental breakdowns like in front of my piano and be like, I can't do this. Like this is really hard. But it's really cool. They ended up like recording like the raw audio from me playing the piano and like using it in the final cut. But that was just like a core memory for me. Like I loved that pilot. It's my favorite thing ever. It was so fun.
I'm so bummed that didn't get made. That sounds like it would have been a really cool show.
Yeah. And I'm like still friends with the cast. Like we still like talk, like the cast and crew, like we're all still very close. But yeah, I was really hoping for that one.
Yeah. Well, that must be such a heartbreak when something like that doesn't come through. But well, you mentioned that you play piano. You also play guitar, violin, cello, bass, and ukulele. Like, oh my God. So when did you first show an interest in music as well?
I think I'd always kind of liked music and being like a singer and like all that kind of stuff. But when I was younger, my grandpa actually taught me how to play guitar for like a school talent show. I like randomly like woke up one morning and I was like, I want to learn how to play this like Meghan Trainor song on guitar. And he ended up like teaching me, and he was like giving me guitar lessons for a couple of weeks and like teaching me like basic chords and like strumming patterns and all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of just like, it snowballed from there. Like I ended up loving playing guitar, and I was like, I wonder how many other instruments I can like teach myself. So I played viola in elementary school and ended up teaching myself violin and cello after that, and then taught myself piano during COVID. And then bass is very similar to guitar, so that kind of came pretty easily. And then so is ukulele, so same thing. But it's always kind of just been something fun, like a hobby, like learning how to play as many different instruments as I can.
That is incredible. It's like teaching yourself all those instruments. I assume that you had gone to school for all of those. Guitar was the only one that I like was formally taught. Like, yeah. And then I ended up having to take classical piano at Chapman, which was insane. I had never taken a classical piano like class in my life. And like, I was like 18 years old and I had been playing piano for like years at this point, and I like knew everything about it. And she was like, you're playing it wrong. Like your fingers need to be like a different way than how you're playing it. And like, cause I taught myself, I had like no idea. And it was crazy. I like hated playing piano for a couple of months just cause I was like, I hate classical music. Yeah. That sounds like it'd be like rewiring your brain. Also, I went to Chapman too, but communication studies.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I just switched to communication studies like a couple months ago. So yeah.
So wait, are you still in school right now?
Yeah, I just came back. I had to take like a gap year kind of.
Oh, okay.
I'm back and I'm a comms major. That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
That's so cool. So how are you liking communication studies now?
It's fun. It's very different than what I expected, actually. I was not expecting to like it as much as I do. It was like a quick major that I could finish in like 2 years. And I'm like a music minor too. But it's really fun. I'm taking like a lot of really interesting classes and kind of learning different things. It helps a lot with like acting and like interview experience too. So it's like, it's been helping for sure. Yeah.
That's really cool. I remember it was a lot of like theory and like qualitative research and stuff like that. So yeah, it was different from what I expected as well. But, I remember learning like it was like that intrapersonal communication, and like that was, is that the aspect that kind of helps you with acting?
Yeah, kind of like just kind of learning about different, I guess, like theories of communication and kind of like knowing how to communicate something, and like being able to like change my facial expressions and like change my tone and like all that kind of stuff has been like weirdly helpful for being an actor. But yeah.
So cool. My friend was in communication studies with me, and she became a Marvel producer. So there's like a broad scheme of a very wide scheme of jobs you can take with that. But so anyway, so then you also did voice work, which so you did We Bare Bears, Squid Game, which crazy, and the Boss Baby series. So what do you love about voice acting that's different from being in front of the camera?
I love being in front of the camera, like very much. But I think that voice acting is just such like a different like level of acting. Like you're not seeing your face at all. And you could literally play any character you want. Like I was like, I think like a 10-year-old Girl Scout in like We Bare Bears. And then I played twins in Boss Baby. And like it was insane. But like it's just so fun. Like it's so cool, like being able to like change your voice and like with all the characters and everything. But yeah, I've been voice acting for almost as long as I've been acting. So it's been crazy.
I see so people do, like TikTok videos of like behind the scenes. Is it is it hard not being able to like see your facial expressions, or are you like mimicking your voice to the cartoon?
I feel like because we usually don't get the animation like before they like record the lines, and then do the animation based on like our lines and our like delivery of that. So like I feel like I subconsciously like as an actor acted out like with my face and like my body, and then they tell me they're like, you have to stay still. Like if you move too far this way, then like it's gonna like be weird. So I'm like, okay, so I have to like train my like body to like stay completely still, and like I still have the facial expression just out of habit. But it's cool like being able to like play with like my voice inflections and everything too. So I love voice acting. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, it seems like this singing and that would tie in nicely together, like being able to change your voice to different like octaves. That's cool, really cool. Okay, so what we've all been waiting for. Tell me about the audition process for XO Kitty.
That was, I will like genuinely never forget this audition process. It was like insane. I was probably auditioning for like a couple of weeks. I had like the first audition, and I like went in on Zoom and did like a Zoom kind of in-person audition. And then they were like, your microphone is bad. Like we can't hear anything. And they had already recorded it, and they were watching the video back, and they were like, we can't hear you like at all. And I was like, okay, I can send you a self-tape like by the end of the day. And at this point too, I was like halfway through my spring semester of my freshman year. I was taking like 20 credits. Like I was absolutely just swamped. And I was like, okay, I was like, I have like an hour in between classes that I can figure this out. So I drove home because I live close to Chapman. I drove home. I had my mom set up like all the self-tape stuff. And like, I was like, we need to record this in like 30 minutes. And then I have to go back to school. Like I cannot miss my class. So then we ended up recording it like in my living room. And I was like that's close to what I did, I guess, like on the Zoom. I don't know. So we sent that in. And a couple days later, they were like, we want to like have you re-record again. And like, just as like a callback. I was like, okay. And then they gave me like another like scene to do on top of that. And then they were like, we want you to come in for a producer session. And I was living on campus, and I had 2 roommates, and like the freshman dorms at Chapman are like crazy. Like it's like one room with like 3 people in it. So I literally texted my roommates, and I was like, you guys need to get out of the room for like 20 minutes. I'm like, you can't make a single sound. Don't knock on the door. Like, don't come in. Like literally nothing. I was like, I have this huge audition. I'm like, leave. So I ended up taking the callback like in my dorm at Chapman, and there was like all of my dorm stuff in the background. Like you could probably see my roommate's bed and like all that kind of stuff. I was like, it's gonna have to do, because I was again in between classes. So yeah, and then I was on the phone with Jessica O'Toole, who is our like showrunner, and then I think like a couple of the directors, and I think maybe Jenny Han was on there too. I don't remember. I think I kind of blacked out for part of that because I was so nervous. Yeah, and then a couple days later, they were like, "We want you to chemistry read with Anna and Sangwon," and that was the first time I'd ever seen them like outside of the show, because I had watched the show before, but it was, I don't know. So I hopped on a Zoom call with the 2 of them and the showrunner and all the other people involved and read the sides. And then like a week later, they were like, hey, so actually we want you on a flight to Korea in 2 weeks. I was like, oh okay. So I had to completely move out of my dorm, move back home, and then pack everything up to move to Korea for a couple of months. It was insane.
Whoa.
But it was,
Wait,
yeah.
2 weeks. So would you tell your classes just like, I have to?
Pretty much. I was like, I gotta go. I was like, well,
Yeah.
like, what am I supposed to say? No to Netflix? Like,
Yeah.
bye.
Were they cool with it? I feel like there are a lot of like people that come out of Chapman that do this type of thing. Were they understanding with it?
They were pretty understanding. I got credit for like a couple of the classes, but with like the attendance policy and everything, they were like, if you don't show up to class, like that's an issue. So I ended up having to withdraw out of a couple of classes, but honestly, it's fine. I got to go to Korea and film a Netflix show out of it. So whatever.
Literally, if you're already taking 20 units, that's like 5 more units than I was taking at the time. So I feel like that helped.
Well, because I was a music major too. Oh, sorry.
So you were music major and then gap and then now comm and music minor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. It's been a journey. Major? I do. I think I like the minor a lot better though, just personally. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a lot more fun and a lot more like, cause I'm a music tech minor. So I'm learning how to like produce my own music, which is a lot more like in line with what I like doing. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we
will get fun.
Okay. So did any parts of Stella's story resonate with you personally?
Oh, probably her being kind of like not the cutest child. I was a very awkward, like young teenager. I had a huge awkward face. If there's any photos that resurface from that era of my life, like I will pay someone to delete them. It was bad. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like honestly that and just kind of being not like put down, but kind of like judged, I guess, for like your looks and then like having a glow up and everyone's like, oh, you're the same person? That's weird. Like, yeah. But also like her journey, like she's very passionate about what she does and her like love for performing and singing, which I very much resonated with. So yeah, she was a very fun character to bring to life. I really had a lot of fun with her.
Yeah, and shooting in Korea, I read a story that about a trip to a rail park, and you guys had like so much fun. Are there any behind the scenes memories that you can share?
Oh, from set, honestly, just like everything of us like being on set like didn't feel like work like at all. Like we were just like a big friend group in Korea, and we had like a lot of fun. Like we were working really long days at like crazy hours, but like it didn't feel like hard because we were like kind of with each other, you know, like anytime like the camera was off, we were just like riffing off each other and like making jokes and like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun day. The palace scene was very fun. That was really, really cool. Like the last episode, I believe we shot it in this like palace, like in Korea, and they built like this entire stage and like we were just shooting like there. It was crazy. They moved us down to another hotel for a couple of days. That was really fun. It was a cool like couple of days just being there and like being in a different location, you know, and like filming in such like a cool place. But yeah, and then that's where the like K-pop dance scenes were filmed too. So we were always like behind the camera, like watching the stage, being like, yeah, like go. Oh, it was really fun.
That sounds like so much fun. Are you guys still in touch now?
Yeah, I still text them. They, we all kind of live in like different places. So it's a lot of like texting and calling and stuff, but we definitely still keep in touch and it's really nice.
Oh, it's so nice. Okay. Well, you were talking about producing music and your debut EP, Lovesick, dropped just after XO Kitty. So what inspired you to write these songs?
I've been writing songs for years, like probably since like early high school. And this like collection of music very much felt like a reflection of my life at that point. Like it was a lot of just like ups and downs of college and like especially like college love life. Like that was such a crazy experience for me. And I wrote all of those songs like during my like freshman year and like into like the summer afterwards. And it was really cool just kind of seeing how my like writing had shifted at that point. I feel like I like really like stepped into my own sound and it was fun. So I felt like I was like, I need to release these and make this my brand and my debut because that's really cool. Yeah.
And you have an incredible voice. It's like so breathtaking. But
Thank you.
I read in it, of course. Well, you read in an interview, or I read in an interview that you said the EP reflects what's going on in your head at any given time. So how did it feel to put something like that personal out into the world?
Oh my God, I was terrified. I was so scared. And I remember sending like the songs to my producer, and like he would text me back and be like, wow, like your lyrics to this one are kind of crazy. And I'm like, yeah, like, sorry. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to release this, but yeah, no, I feel like for me, writing personal songs is a way to like let people know that like there are other people that are thinking the same things as them. Like I'm like a chronic overthinker. I overthink everything. So like my songs are definitely a reflection of that. So I feel like there's a very niche group of people that resonate with that kind of writing and that sound, which I think is great. But it was difficult. I was like, this is crazy. Yeah.
No, I'm also a chronic overthinker, and I've never like thought of that as a strength, but that's cool that you used it to your benefit. And
yeah, I never really thought of it that way either.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. Well, I like that. I'll have to tell my therapist. But okay, so your favorite track is Feel Something. Can you share why that one stands out in particular? And also if that's still accurate.
It is, definitely. I love that song. Just out of the ones on the EP, I feel like that one and You Miss It Too. Like, of course, that's like my little baby. But I just love like the lyrics to Feel Something. I feel like it was like, if not the most like accurate to what I was feeling at that point. And we had some really fun things going on with like the production. Like we wanted it to feel very kind of empty. So we didn't add like a lot into the song. So when you listen to it on like your phone or like a laptop, like it sounds just very, like it feels like there's something missing, which is kind of the whole like ongoing theme of that song. Like it feels like you're missing something from your life now. So we wanted the track to feel like the same way, as like a subconscious, like mind game kind of thing. So that one was really fun. And then we like started out on the piano, and it was supposed to be like a really chill kind of ballad. And then we were like, what if we add some crazy synth stuff in the background and some really filtered guitars that make it sound like really strange and like very weird. So I had a lot of fun, at least in the studio, with that one. And that one definitely feels the most like personal to me. So yeah.
God, I'm always so impressed with lyrics because I'm a writer too for the magazine and stuff. And I mean, getting out what's in your head on paper is already difficult enough, but to translate that into like poetry almost is so, I can't imagine. My brain does not work that way. It sounds so challenging. So
I feel like that's the only way my brain works. Like when I have to say something, I have to write a song about it. Like I can't like write like an essay. Like my essays are terrible. Like when I like actually write stuff, it's really bad. Like I'm really bad at conversation holding when it comes to like certain topics. But with songs, I can just like say everything that I need to say in a song, which is why I love songwriting so much.
Yeah. Well, is there anything coming up in 2025 or 2026 that you want listeners to keep an eye out for?
I definitely have been in the studio since Lovesick. I have many more songs that I've been writing, and I also play with a band around campus. So we've been kind of workshopping some new songs. But I have one track that's like done, and it's so good. I genuinely think it's like one of my favorite songs that I've ever made. It's so good. So that's definitely getting released soon. And I also definitely filmed a music video for it with a couple of my friends. So yeah, I'm really excited for that one. But that one's definitely coming in the near future. So,
oh my gosh, I'm so excited to watch it. That's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are like at Dodge at Chapman, and one of my best friends is a directing major, and she was like, "Can I direct a music video of yours?" I was like, "Absolutely, you can." And she did the You Miss It Too music video. She just did the music video for this next song, and I'm literally so excited. It looks so good.
How fun getting to work with your friend for that.
Yeah, Dodge she's amazing.
Yeah, Dodge is wild. The people that come out of that school is like the Duffer Brothers, right, from Stranger Things.
They were just here for a master class too. It was crazy.
Shut up.
I wanted to go, but I couldn't. I was camping. So
oh my God, awesome. Okay, well, we're coming to the end of our time, but before I let you go, I have 3 final questions for you that we call the Thoughtful 3. So first, what is a habit or routine that you feel has helped you become successful?
Ooh, I have a very stressful life. I feel like I'm juggling like a lot of different things, but when I have the time, I've found that like being able to just sit and chill and have a day for myself. And if it means taking a mental health day and not going to a class, then it's fine. Like for me, my brain just kind of needs a second to reset. And that's definitely been helping, like, especially the past couple of weeks now that like things have been picking back up again. But also unplugging from my phone. I think I've started to hate my phone. I think I hate social media. I do love it. I think it's really fun, but I think that being so wrapped up in it sometimes is really terrible for my mental health. So I just need to step back a little, but that's definitely been something good for me too. So I think those two.
Yeah, which are both impressive. I didn't learn the first, like just letting yourself relax, even if it means saying no to something, until later adult years. And then the phone, I still need to work on that one, but those are both really good advice. Well, speaking of, what was the best advice that you received when you were first starting out?
Ooh, this is going to sound so cliche, but I think just like the concept of never giving up. I think you just have to, if you love something, you just have to keep working for it and it will happen. Like that's kind of been my mentality with everything. Like I've been an actor for, oh my God, like 14, 15 years now. And like just a couple of years ago, I got something that made me feel really proud to be an actor. And I think, yeah, just kind of playing the long game with certain things and being able to have that like discipline to like keep going and really just keep your head where you want it to go. But
yeah. I've said this before on the podcast, but I love it so much. I've seen things that say like an overnight success takes 10 years.
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, so accurate.
Yep.
And then last, what advice do you have for people when they find themselves outside of their comfort zone?
Enjoy it. I think it's fun. I think it's cool to kind of step outside of your comfort zone for a bit. Like, I think that's how you're able to grow, like as a human, as an artist, like anything. Yeah, I try and push myself kind of out of my comfort zone, like as much as I possibly can. Just cause then like your brain is able to work in different ways that it doesn't usually get to because you're uncomfortable. Like it's, but yeah, I think that just have fun with it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, that's great advice. Well, thank you so much for doing this. It was literally such a joy getting to talk with you. You're such an incredible, inspiring person. And I'm so happy I got to have you on.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is so fun. This is like great.